Here we are, getting ready to list. I was just doing some research. I ran across a sold listing that I found to be kind of surprising. Hey, Tracy. Yes, you're first. Um, and it was a lot of 40 hair scrunchies. Remember those? If you're of a certain age, you will. The kind of big fat ponytail holder that was very decorative in your hair, especially in the 80s or and into the 90s. And it was a lot of 40 of those. And it sold for like $30 shipped. I'm like, what? But they were vintage 80s. I also saw a lot of, remember the big 80s hair bow? The barrette, the big bow clip that would clip in your hair. There was a lot of those that sold too. Ricky Tiki Treasures is with us. Hello. Thank you for being here. So, when I saw that listing, that got me going into what other crazy trend from the 80s, like, do people sell? I mean, and I know people sell vintage stuff. I sell vintage stuff. But, I saw it was new old stock. So they were new, but there were a lot of 6 pairs of slouch socks. And they sold for $56 shipped. I'm like, what? And then, of course, when you think of slouch socks, of course, the natural progression in your brain is to leg warmers. And there are actually vintage leg warmers that sell. So it's very, very interesting, the things that people will buy. Hey, Will, how are you? I hope you're doing great. Tracy says, my sister bought scrunchies last week, so I know people are definitely buying them these days. Right. I just find that incredibly fascinating that you could gather together a lot of hair scrunchies. And a lot of times you will find, I'm assuming other people do too, but like thrift stores will put hair accessories like that in just a Ziploc bag or something and put a price on them. So interesting things to look for. And then yesterday, I think, was it Wimpy Whistler who challenged me to list 5 clothing items this weekend. So last night, my husband went to bed. He's been sick for a couple of weeks now. And so he went to bed at like 5:30. And I thought, I'm just going to work for a while. So I came back down here and I worked until about 9:30. Hey, Huckleberry Planet. Gina, right? Is that your name? Gina? Please correct me if I'm wrong. Please tell me what it is if I'm wrong. So I came back down here. I was able to get all of my vintage Transformers from like the 1990s listed, all of them. I actually went through all of the clothing items that I have, and I actually culled out most of them, but I did end up with 3 that I wrote drafts for. And so Holly's going to be here tomorrow. She's going to photograph those, and I'll get those listed tomorrow. Tracy says, I sold a vintage Caboodles makeup case last month for $60. I think I have 1 or 2 of those listed right now, and I do like to pick those up when I find them. The shipping can kind of kill you, and I usually, I don't do free shipping, but that can be a consideration when a customer's buying those because they're big, but they do sell. And then, okay, good. Your name is Gina. And then, so I did that, and I am left with like just a couple of tubs here of things that I need to list. And so I'm pretty excited about just getting these few things. I've had this lovely, lovely thing for a while, and I think I probably will list this over on, let's see. Nancy's trying to join. She's having some trouble. Let's see. Let me give her the link again. There we go. But I've had this lovely thing for a while. I think I need to list it on Etsy. I don't know. But isn't it just fabulous? I'm going to try and get this listed. It's got a dragon and a unicorn and a merlin and a dragon and a unicorn. And it's just like one of those French barrettes. It's probably not worth anything, but I just think it's funny. So I thought I would. Gina, okay, finally able to comment with the account that has my name. Yay. Well, wonderful. Thank you. So I'm glad that you were able to do that. But yeah, I think I'm going to list this. It probably won't bring very much, but it's just so awful. It's wonderful. So I'm going to try and get that listed today. And yeah, did anybody have sales overnight? I only had 2 sales. One is a jacket that Chris bought from me. So I've got that ready to ship. And then, hey, Nancy. And then let me turn my thing down because I'm going to echo. And then the other is a lid for that Ninja blender. So that sold this morning for $22 and change. How are you? How are things in your world, Nancy?
I went yard selling today.
Yard selling today. Nice.
Yeah. I found some good deals.
What'd you get?
These.
Oh, cool.
Can you see it?
Yeah, Purex. Let me put you on.
Yeah, they're 3-in-1. You toss them in the washer, and they go from the washer to the dryer.
Oh, cool. I don't know. They still don't make that. They don't make those anymore, do they?
No. They go from it has the softener and the anti-static in it. Oh. And they're reselling for about $30 a box.
Very nice. Good morning, Cammie.
9 of them.
How many?
9.
9 of those. That's an awesome deal. Yeah, your connection's kind of slow today, Nance. What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe it hasn't had enough
coffee. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Tracy says she had 1 Poshmark sale today, but that's it so far today. And Kim said she had 1 sale yesterday. Will says he's still no sales for him. Is so slow, but you've been listing hard for days. Well, that's about the only thing you can do when sales are slow is just keep pushing it. Diane Dodd suggests that you do not eat the Purex 3-in-1s. And don't get those confused with Nescafe 3-in-1s. They're completely different products. And let's see. Let me see here. Okay. All righty. So, so I actually in my searches this morning pulled up banana clips. And it looks like any kind of hairdo dad from the 80s will sell. Obviously, lots of them are better than a single one, but here's a lot of 11 vintage 80s plastic banana clips for $20. And those are pretty easy to find. And gosh, this is an 80s. I remember these. I had forgotten all about them. It's one of those plastic charm necklaces that has the brightly colored plastic doodads hanging off of it.
Yeah.
It looks like it's got 15 charms on it. It sold for $35. So that's almost better than some jewelry sales. So anyway, I got down an 80s rabbit hole this morning. When I saw slouch socks, or when I saw hair scrunchies sold.
Really?
Let's see.
too.
Oh, is that twin Cabbage Patch?
Yep.
Cute.
Yeah. Down a rabbit hole of the original patch strollers.
Uh-huh.
Those are reselling for about $50 each.
Okay. So I may actually get to go thrifting later today. I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I can get everything that I have left actually listed today.
I had only bought 5 packs of these T-Rexes, so we had to go to the post office, and my husband went inside to buy stamps. So I'm sitting in the car, and I said, "Oh, I'll just look these up." I'm like going, "Oh no!" And I'm sitting there going, "Hurry up, hurry up!" When he comes out, I'm like, "Get in the car, quick, quick, quick! Get them all!
Get them all. Get them
Get
all.
them all!"
So I'm still on the fence with this. I have tested this and know it works, but I don't have the cord for it. And I'm wondering, and I can't find a cord for it. Wondering if it will sell without the cord. Let's see. Hey Val, how are you doing today? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. I know yesterday you didn't list, you were kind of burned out, but are you listing today? Tracy says, well, for everyone who saw me tell it yesterday, I went and had my HSG this morning, and it was basically pain-free. HSG is where they flush out your fallopian tubes to make sure they aren't blocked. It doesn't sound pleasant, but I'm glad that everything went well.
It doesn't.
Val says you're doing good. I already listed today, so you're lurking again. Good for you. You know, if you're done with your work, then you're allowed to lurk. It's just the way it works. So I'm just going to continue to try and hit it hard as much as I can. I did go in today and create a new category called Super Sale, where I am looking to like dump a bunch of the trash that's in my store and sell it at half off or whatever. So I did start that sale, and I will be working through those items. Let's see.
Did you list that category as giveaway?
Basically, it's my super sale category. Tracy says she's glad it's over, but hate that I worked myself up so much over nothing. Well, fear will do that to you. And fear of pain. I mean, the human condition is programmed, like primally programmed to avoid pain. So it's easy to work yourself up over, perceived future pain. I mean, you really have to talk yourself down off the ledge. So I think we all do that in some degree. I think I am going to contact the maker of this music box and see if they actually have the cord for this at a relatively low price. That'd be nice.
Yeah. And when you get a chance, I need you to do something.
Okay. Val, when I do a category like that, I will honestly go in and raise the price on the items by 25%. And then I will run 50 and 60% off sales. Plus, all of those items include shipping. So, I mean, I'm charging the shipping extra. I won't do free shipping on any of those. So I will get my money back. I'm just hoping that they will all sell.
I should get about $270 for all those Purex.
Yeah, and they may sell really fast.
Yeah, I'm just looking at current ones that have sold last month.
Yeah.
Sold 8 hard cases for $200.
Wow. Hey, Ninabeth. Happy Friday to you as well. I was kind of a grouch earlier today, and I honestly had to give myself a good stern talking to. Oh, so they only sell a replacement key for my Mr. Christmas. I don't need that. Okay, so Nance, you're a smart chick.
Yeah.
The plug on this says AC 6 volt. So if I was to buy like any 6 volt plug, it should fit, right?
Right.
So maybe I'll just try and buy like a cheap one on eBay and see if that will work.
Yeah, you'd want to over or under the power.
Let's see what I can do here. I'll buy this one and see. It's only $6. Male to female plug. Yeah. Yeah, this one, I don't know why. I just guess for convenience. They have another plug that plugs in here and then plugs into the wall socket. So, but I know it's a 6-volt, so I'll just buy one that I think will fit. And this one's only $6, so I'm willing to take that risk.
And you should be able to return it.
Yeah. So that's got that. So I'm going to go ahead and write my listing for this guy, because either way I'm going to list it. And from what I can see, there are none listed. This this with the cord sells for just under $60. So I'm willing to spend a little bit because I've only paid $4 for them. It does have some scratches on it that I'm going to take care with with Old English. It's got quite a few little nicks on it that I'm going to take care of with Old English. And by Old English, I'm not talking about Will. Let's see. Grab that and I'll clean this up a little bit. Hey, Beverly. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you being here. Okay. Get a little of this. Will, when do your you said you got some bids on your micro machines. When does your auction end on those? Or did you do those in auction, or do you have best offers? Or Thanks, Bev. I like being live with you guys too. It just helps my day go by so much faster. Okay, you're gonna check them. Okay. So clearly this is some kind of composite because it won't stain. Can't get it to stain with the Old English. I'm excited about your amber, Beverly. I am really excited that you found such a cool piece, and I would be interested to know what a jeweler thought of it too. So I think it's a good idea to take it to a jeweler and see if they will tell you what it actually is. Okay, I cannot get these spots to stain with the Old English, which tells me this is probably not
What about one of those furniture markers?
I think it is. What's that, Nance?
One of those furniture markers.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do because the Old English didn't do anything. And usually it's good. Like, that's my go-to. See, Will says my Disney Pixar Micro Machines I pulled out separate, got $14.99. Buy it now, no interest yet. Be right back. Okay.
That's not a fun surprise. Mm.
Will says pulled out the fire and police Micro Machines, made a bundle, got them at £9.99. Buy it now. 3 right watchers. Be right back. Hey, Steve. I saw that you put up a new video yesterday. I haven't had time to watch it, but I will be watching it this weekend. Looks like you found some vintage denim, perhaps. Mama J, Jessica says, when everybody leaves you for the weekend to go out of state, what do? Go to the bins for the whole day. I think so. I think so. Tomorrow will be fun. That will be fun. I hope you find lots of stuff. Al says, I listed some stuff on Mercari this morning, did my first hashtags. Are you supposed to run the word together? Yes. Yes, you'd want to do hashtag Nike hoodie. So when you're hashtagging, you have to use the number sign, the actual hash mark. Hash mark Nike hoodie. Like this. If I can. Hey, Kiari, thanks for being here. Steve said he's already sold one of the denim jackets. They paid $1 for, sold for $350. That is awesome. I can't wait to go and watch your video to see exactly what you found. Definitely something I will.
That's nice.
Yeah, definitely something I will be looking for. Although probably still not going to be a big clothing seller. I wouldn't be able to pass that up. It was a 1940s Lee 91-J chore jacket. Val says, thanks, I did, but didn't do words together, still learning. Perfectly fine.
I don't do hashtags either.
Yeah, she's doing the hashtags on Mercari. So, but it will still, if you've got the hash mark in front, it will still, if somebody's searching hashtag Nike, they will still find it because you've got the Nike and the hashtag together. If you do have the Nike and the hashtag together. Tracy says, all right, ladies, I'm going to take a horizontal life pause for a bit. I love that. Since I'm exhausted from this morning's doings. Talk to y'all next time. Thank you for coming. I hope you feel better because I know that that kind of procedure can wear you out too. So take care of yourself. We'll see you soon. Jessica said, I'm also taking a long child-free bath after the bins with a cold drink. It's the little things. Also, thanks. Hope I get some goodies too. Will says, bundle of 37 micro machines. Nothing special. Had over 100 views and has 19 watchers. Finished in 1 day and 17 hours. And do you have any bids on it yet? Any bids on it yet? And what are you charging for that one? Like, what did you start it at? My mailman's getting ready to come. I have a feeling. Started at 99. It's at £5.50, and you paid £2.50 for all the micro machines. Nice. I love selling toys. I love selling toys. And it looks like I'm probably going to make quite a bit of money on those Transformers because I just listed them last night late, like after 6 o'clock. And one of them that I have listed for about $30 has 4 watchers already and has had like 50 views or something. Belle says she likes selling toys too. It's her favorite things to sell. I do love them. And actually, somewhere I've got some Farmhouse Little People. I think I'll list that next. So this goes to the barn, the talking barn. Jessica says toys are my favorite niche. They probably are right up in there with kitchen stuff. Those are probably my 2 favorite things. Toys are fun though because I get to play with them. But kitchen gadgets can be fun too because I get to play with those too. Like when I buy a bread oven, I always go make bread in it. Especially find vintage toys. I like vintage toys too. So I've got this barn. And I've got 2 of these. One of these I've got local, and I'm not getting any action on it, but this is cute. It's got a little flip out silo. And with this one, I've got just a few, and I may go ahead and just sell all of these and then redonate the 2 barns because they don't sell for much more with the barn, and this is going to be a pain to ship and it'll be costly. So I think I'm just going to sell all these animals. There's my mailman. I'll be right back. Okay, that's the mail out of the way. Let's see. Val says I love little people. Can't part with them. My hoard. I can part with almost anything. Well said. I've been saving all my eBay profits, and it's paying for my daughter's wedding in July. Nearly paid for it all. Oh, well, congratulations on your daughter's upcoming wedding, and good on you for being able to like essentially pay cash for a wedding, because they can be really expensive. Even if you're trying to do a very modest wedding, so expensive still. Val says that's awesome. I love when I see people pay for a goal with eBay money. So I was watching this video yesterday from somebody I follow on YouTube, and she lives in, I'm not getting political here, Palestine, Israel, whatever you want to call it. And she is, she does videos online to learn Arabic. And of course, that's my husband's native language. So she's offering at the end of this month, this 2-week immersion where they give you 40 hours basically of language learning. You get 4 hours a day, but you're actually hosted by a family that they speak both languages, but they immerse you in the culture and the language. And I thought, that sounds like so much fun. Of course, it would cost about $3,000 by the time you bought the airfare, spending money, and the course. My husband kind of poo-pooed it because it's like, you're immersed right here because I live here. So he was not going for that. So I think my next thing that I'll pay for after this vacation is maybe some work in my kitchen. I can speak a little bit. I can speak a little bit of Arabic, but I can't have any kind of in-depth conversation. And that frustrates me a little bit because a lot of his family doesn't speak English. and so I can't really communicate with them very well. Which they're all overseas. He's the only one here, but I would certainly love to learn it. Let's see.
Can you give me some comps on this, Sarah? Because I couldn't find anything on eBay.
It is a Barbie. Let's see. Hold on. Let me pull you up.
Be Smart Desktop.
Be Smart Desktop. Let me look on WorthPoint and see if there's anything.
Yeah, because the only one I could find was a €1 or something.
It looks like it sold in May of 2016 for $15.99.
Okay. It looks like my computer.
Okay. So I think I just sold something for Holly. I'm like, I hope it's still here. Maybe she took it back with her. Let's see. I think it's still here somewhere. Pretty sure that it is. Okay. Where's my sidekick? Well, I usually only get her 1 or 2 days a week maximum. And it's just that it happens that most days I'm going to go live when she's here. And she's just been busy taking care of babies. But she is going to come tomorrow. So who knows? If I do some kind of live show, you may see her. She is a riot. She keeps me in stitches. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but look at that fat baby.
No.
I wish it wasn't so bright. That is Achilles. And I guess he's 7 months now. Let's see. August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Yeah, 7 months. He'll be 7 months on the 7th. My other sidekick will be here on the 18th. See, I don't even know what day of the week. Maybe 2 weeks from today, I think. She's coming. She's going to do some thrifting. Yeah, Jessica's going to come up and do some thrifting. She doesn't look old enough to have kids. Val thought she was a teen. She does have a baby face, but she just turned 28 in January. But yeah, she gets carded for everything. Everywhere she goes, she does look really young. All right. Hmm. The silo on that barn sells for $16 shipped. Diane Dodd says, I was like that too. Now I wish somebody would card me. Right. They didn't even card me when I turned 18 or 21 or any of that. I don't know. What do you think, Nancy? Should I steal the silos off of those?
Were you just going to donate those again?
Yep.
Or?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd steal the silos off of them.
This is, I'm going to do People's Sounds, Little People's Sounds barn. There it is at $6 plus $10 shipping. I see it sold twice. Let me see how many times it's listed. So there is one listed. There's one listed and two sold. But the whole barn only sells for $15. I think I'll sell just
For how much?
15. I think I'll just sell
that. So for shipping too.
Yeah, because it just pops off. There you go. I just laid an egg. It was awesome.
Farm fresh.
Okay, I'll stop playing. And if I could figure out how to effectively pop this off without breaking it, I would turn it and stuff it down in there, and it would make it easier to ship. But I won't do that. So I'm going to sell that one. And sell this one. How much does this weigh? It's 14 ounces. get those listed. Let's see. Should be able to pop it in a padded mailer for first class. Yeah. What I did was I actually did it as priority for £1, and I listed it at $12.99 with best offer. So I'll be happy with whatever I get on that. Val says, do you take pictures, all your pictures one day, list the next, looking for an easier route? I do it all at one time. I actually do them in batches. Like I will spend time taking pictures of 20 or 30 items and then list those 20, 30 items. Nancy, are you playing in the chat? But I am open to how other people do it too.
I am trying to bring up the chat. It says I have to enter these quotation mark / question mark quotation mark.
Okay.
No, I did that.
Are you trying to see the chat on the YouTube thing?
Yeah.
Because the chat's on YouTube. The chat's not on the Hangout. Which is exactly what happened to me the first time that I did a live chat. I thought it was here on the Google Hangout that you and I see, and it's actually over on YouTube. So you have to pull up a separate window and mute it on YouTube like you're watching the show, and you'll be able to see the chat. And I just, yeah. Let's see. I think that's why I'm worn out after I go back and forth. Maybe try that. Yeah. So when I'm doing it, I like to take my pictures first because I'm looking for flaws at that point. That way I will know to comment on those when I write the listing. Or it doesn't really matter. You can do the listing where you pick up the item and look at it and write any flaws there, and you know to take pictures of them. When Holly does it, Holly will take more than 12 pictures just so that she can show me, hey, this has got flaws, so you can see it. You should know I buy a lot of flawed stuff. Okay, there's that. Jessica says, I picture like 100 to 150 items, and then I list them during the week. So I usually take my pictures on the weekend and then less during the week. That's another way. That's a bigger batch. So, yeah, those are nice big batches. Let's see what my husband is doing today. Oh dear. First, I got to take the volume way down because you never know what he's going to say. Yeah. He just flipped me off. He didn't say anything. He just flipped me off because that's how we've got it here at my house. It's like we're college roommates or something. Oh dear. Got 125 emails because a bunch of stuff just ended. And I don't know why, but eBay just started sending me double the emails they normally do. One, the listing ended. Two, relist the listing. I'm like, come on now. And I can't figure out how to turn that off. Because when I go to the the preferences, it just is turn it off or on. So I may be missing something. And that's pretty normal. I'm usually missing something. Oh, heading to the Goodwill up the street. You're going with me. Well, fun. And if I was there, I would go with you for sure. Tractor. Jessica, I assume you probably sell clothes. I don't know. Because I don't know. I'm like, I don't know if I ever have 150 items. That's when I have shopped and shopped and shopped and shopped, and haven't listed. It doesn't happen to me very often. I try to keep it right around 50, but I can see where maybe a clothing seller would end up with a great number of clothes that they would need to list. And I don't hate clothing sellers. I just hate clothing. I just don't enjoy it. And I wish I could push myself to love it, but I just can't. I keep trying, can't. So if you guys can encourage me, give me tricks to make me love it. Yeah, Beverly, I haven't figured that out. I don't mind that it sends me notifications that these listings are ending because I need to know that so I can go back in and relist them. But now they are doubling it, and it's just too much. It's too much. And I think it was just an update that they did recently. So something I just noticed today actually, is in your list of active, there's a little green box by some of them that give you a recommended price, to which I say, ugh. But Jessica says, I hate clothing, by the way, but it does bring in some money. I do Poshmark also, and I do Etsy, and I do Mercari. So I have a lot going on. Yeah, I do have some Etsy. I do have some Mercari. I have not gone into Poshmark, of course, because I don't sell clothes, but I'm not even sure I could.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Recommended prices on your listing. When you go into your listings and you look tab, that's been going on for a while.
Has it? I just haven't noticed
had it for, yeah.
Maybe I just
6 months or more.
Really?
And I like how they have that growth recommendation to it, and it says analyze your listing, and they go, well, we have nothing to compare this to, so we really don't know.
Right.
But
yeah.
we need to do something.
I have seen that. Emma Huffman, hi Emma, says, I do clothing, just recently started and don't have a store, but used my 50 free listings in about a week, and I only have 33 left for March. Thinking about getting the subscription already. Do you know what your selling limits are? Like, do you know the actual limit of number of items that you can list in a month? I'm not talking about free listings, but they will give you like a limit when you first start of clearly you have at least 50 because you're using those every month. But that new store subscription, and I think that it'll be available pretty soon, I think. Do you know, Nancy? Is it March maybe? The new subscription?
May.
That's what I'm seeing March in my May in my head and saying March. So maybe that is the next logical tier for you. But also just take pictures till I get tired, then sit down and draft all first. Then add photos at the end, makes it go by quick. It does. And I will tell you something that I do that I probably shouldn't do is I will have 2 tabs open, and once I've got all my drafts done and all my pictures done, I will start uploading pictures into one draft, and then I'll go into another tab and start uploading pictures into another draft, and I'll just toggle back and forth until I can get them done. Doesn't make it half as fast or half as, twice as fast, but it does cut off a little bit of time. Jessica said, I would say just go ahead and get the $25 store and get 250 listings. I think it was, and then you get a coupon for the shipping supplies. And that's a good idea unless she's got a limit. If she's got the $100 limit or the 100 limit, it wouldn't help her to get the bigger store yet. So, and you can look at your seller dashboard and see what your limit is, Emma. If you need help navigating that, let me know. I think I'm going to do a giveaway maybe this weekend for my 1,000 subscribers that I now have. Yes, she can call eBay and ask for a limit increase. That is correct. And if she's been selling for a couple of months, they probably will go ahead and give it to her. Or they may not, saying, well, you're not using it. Sometimes they can be a little weird.
A small store with $5 monthly that's your yearly subscription fee for 100 items.
Mine says monthly selling limit is 5,000 or 50,000. Well, then you're good. You're good to go. Not sure if it's because I went with a business account right up front without getting in a personal account first. That may be why. If you tell them you're going to upgrade to a store, then they'll give you an increase. Well, it sounds like you've got all the limit you want. So maybe it is it would be better for you to go up to a bigger store if you could you know, greatly increase your listings quickly. For that, I think it's $21.95 a month with the yearly commitment.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'll be the new price in May.
Yep. So that's 250 free listings a month. If you're able to like boost up to that pretty quick, it probably will be worth it.
Was something between the basic and the premium store.
I wish there was something between the premium and the anchor store. So I picked up this Pokemon like drawstring bag that I thought maybe I could get 10 or 15 bucks for. I mean, I can't compete with the Chinese sellers that are selling them for 99 cents with free shipping. So maybe I'll give that to
The Grand Boys.
one of the Grand Boys, yeah. Emma says she's slacking it going to the indie bins. I have heard that some of those are better than others in Indianapolis. I think there are a couple there too, right? There's like 3 of them, I want to say. I think it's about 2 hours driving from me, maybe 3 to Indianapolis. I am always up for a road trip. Okay. Getting all kinds of messages today, but I'm going to have to find this kit. This is somebody else that's interested in buying this speech language kit. I'm going to have to find it. So Holly bought this speech language, they're flashcards, and basically they're what speech therapists would use to, like school speech therapists would use to help kids that have some difficulty saying certain sounds. And I think she paid just a couple of bucks for it. I finally listed it yesterday because she had taken the pictures a month ago. Oh, somebody just bought it. Wow. It doesn't have any kind of table of contents in it, but I know some of the cards were missing. So I just listed it at about 60% of what they were selling for. And I said, it's got cards missing. It's got sections missing. Here you go. And I just listed it yesterday. Let's see. Diane says there are 4. I went to the Shadeland one. I met Gia and Michelle. Oh, Will says, I remember that sound, that cha-ching sound. I've been to the one I've been to that one. Someone stole a Chevy jacket out of my cart. Disgusting people. Not Gia and Michelle, but whoever heartless person really said, I need that jacket out of her cart. Yeah, that's some of the bins have gotten very militant about it. About like the way they treat people there. So because they're trying to keep that activity at a minimum. So I just sold this. So Will said, "Dear Santa, for Christmas, can I have a kajing?" Oh, I hope you get one. I hope you get one soon. You're pretty funny. All right. I think I've already got one of these for sale. Oh, Nancy said she was having network problems and had to leave. Sorry, girl. But thank you for coming into the chat. I appreciate you being there. Hey, Margot. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you being here. Nancy said she can be more responsive in the chat. So, but nobody puts Nancy in the corner. For real. Let's see. Hey, Art, thanks for being here. You are my newest subscriber. Thank you. I appreciate that. We are just listing away, and looks like there's about 21 people here. And I have been listing some Fisher Price Little People stuff. And right now I am working on I actually got this at the bins, a Farberware coffee pot plug that I'll sell for about 12 bucks. So thank you. I appreciate it. So anyway, fun times, good times. I don't know why these listing hangouts work, but they just seem to. I enjoy myself and get some things done. I get some interaction from the audience, and they are working away too. So it's just kind of win-win-win for everybody. That's what we're here about. Oh, look, a new offer. So we'll take that. Well, I'm still hoping for you a cha-ching. I know you need one. You haven't had one for a while. Yeah, that was actually, well, I already took it back there. I just listed that yesterday, I think. A Cuisinart bread pan that I got at the bins, so probably paid about $1 for that. And I took an offer of $12.85 plus shipping on it. I mean, not a huge sale, but it's a sale, so it didn't take long for that to turn around. Oh, you had one, the buyer wanted to cancel the order. And this buyer has already paid. So that's a beautiful thing too. Those are just the best when you get, the offer and then they just go ahead and pay. It's always like surprising to me, or I always find it a little funny when it feels like they made an offer, and when you either set it up to automatically accept an offer like that, or you just, I always have the phone and just accept the offer. When you like accept the offer, and it's as if they made the offer to you and threw their phone off a mountaintop or something, like they couldn't possibly now go in and pay. I just find that funny. But I do find that even folks that don't immediately pay, most of the time will pay in a couple of days, and that's good enough for me. I rarely have I occasionally have the offer that actually will go through the entire non-paying buyer process. Generally, when those happen, they pay. There are the outliers. I've got one right now that it doesn't look like they're going to pay, and that's fine. I'll just relist the item. You know, I'm not sure if they found it at a cheaper price, or if they decided that they didn't need it, or they didn't want it, or whatever. But who knows about people? Let's see. And there's a payment on the other thing. Beautiful. Beautiful. Don't you love it when you figure out a new little tip or trick or something and it changes your life? So I just recently learned, and I don't know why I didn't know this, but I didn't, that when you are using first class shipping in your listing, it is not necessary for you to include those dimensions when you're writing the listing. It will still calculate the shipping based on however many ounces you told it would be, which makes sense because first class shipping does not factor the dimensions anyway. And from what I understand, it actually works that way on priority as well, as long as your package is a normal size package. And I would say that that is something that is less than a 12 by 12 by 12. It will factor, or it has less than that 72, 76 inch girth, whatever it is. I don't remember, 70-inch girth. It will factor the priority shipping based on whatever weight you put in. So I don't know why I wasn't conscious of that, but I wasn't. So now it's just another step that I can skip when I am doing first class shipping. As long as I know what the weight will be, I can skip trying to figure out the dimensions. And usually on the first class, like this cord, first class shipping, I always figure the dimensions of, not that envelope, that's a big one, you know, on one of these little envelopes. But now I don't even have to worry about putting those in. It's just another step I can skip to make my shipping a little quicker. And quicker shipping is a good thing, I think. So let's see what we can do with this. We're having one of my favorite things for dinner tonight from a cooking perspective, not necessarily from an eating perspective, and that's leftovers. Because I made enough rice last night for tonight, so that's one less chore that I have to do, and that might free up some time to do some shopping later this afternoon. Emma wants to know, do you use templates? I'm sure it's harder for hard goods, especially with getting lots of different things, but I definitely use them for clothing separated by men's and women's items. I don't use templates. I used to use some templates when I included a lot more information in my listings than I do now. So when I was a newer seller, I included like shipping and just stuff like that in my return policy, and I had all of this information in the listing, which is really superfluous because your return policy is eBay's return policy. If you accept returns, then you accept returns and you use eBay's guidelines for that. And I have 1-day shipping, and I've already spelled out what the shipping will be based on what they just paid for. It's going to go in a padded flat rate, or it's going first class or whatever. So when I stopped adding that information to my listings, I stopped using templates, because you're right, with hard goods, I buy a lot of different kinds of items. One thing I do use is the copy draft, excuse me, the copy draft feature, especially when I'm parting out an item. I don't think I'm going to take all that off. Especially when I'm parting out an item that I'm not going to use a variation listing for. And I am going to use most of the title anyway for the item. I just use that create a copy feature of drafts. And that cuts down a lot of time too. So there are other folks here that may use draft. Do any of you folks use drafts? And what do you include in your drafts? Not drafts, templates. What do you have in your templates that helps that become a quicker process for you? Because honestly, listing is just about everybody's least favorite thing to do. It is a necessary evil, part of doing eBay, and anything that you can do to streamline that process while maintaining a quality listing, it's definitely something we all should share with each other. Sorry. So we'll get some other folks to weigh in on that and see what their opinion is. Let's see. And it says, I include that it's a smoke-free, pet-free, a pet-friendly home. Pretty much a disclaimer to washer clothing prefer used to avoid sensitivities with sensitive fabrics. Yeah, I think I may want to include more information like that if I was selling clothing. But most of my hard goods, it doesn't really matter. And we are smoke-free, pet-friendly. Clearly, if you've ever seen any of the cats running through here. No, you're fine. Your typing is fine. It's I'm used to reading someone's typing whose, second language is English. So I get all kinds of weird stuff from him. He's getting better though. All right. I know I've shared this little tip before, but these little bags come in packs of 100 at Michael's, little Ziploc baggies. There's this size and a smaller size, a 3x2, I think. And they're less than $4 for 100. They're probably cheaper on eBay, but in a pinch when you need some. And I live particularly close to a Michael's. They're a nice little thing to have. So I'm going to list this Super Shooter, this Wherever Vintage Electric Super Shooter. I'll try and get some more of this craziness off the front, but I don't think I can without doing my heat gun. And I don't expect this to sell anytime soon. I actually expect this to sell in 6 months, 7 months, something like that, but it'll still be a good sale. A good sale. Oh, rubber band. All right. It looks like these are still selling right now. Huh. Oh, you're listing the same Super Shooter today, Bonnie. I was kind of surprised. Actually, the listing that I'm going to use is my friend's listing. It looks like she just sold hers. That's awesome. So yeah, I'm going to list this as well. Cool. The time flies so incredibly quickly when we're hanging out together and listing. Can you believe that it's already 1:40? Crazy talk. Hey, Kath. Hello from snowy and cold Carlisle, UK. Snowy and cold. Well, it's cold here, but not snowy today. Always busy, but I'm doing well. Thanks. I hope that you're doing it as well there in Carlisle. Did you get a lot of snow, or is it just like a nice little covering of snow? Because we've had really, really mild temperatures today, though. It's dropped back down. It was almost right around freezing when I woke up this morning. And it has gotten very bright and sunny today, but not so warm. Emma says, I seem to only have motivation to photograph and list in the evening and night hours because right now you're cooking. Oh, worst snow for years. Really? Wow. Emma, what are you cooking right now? Anything good? You know how much I love food. I just love it. I love everything about food. Practically closed down the UK because we are not prepared for it. Wow. That happens sometimes in the South here, where some of the north southern states will get even um, like 10 centimeters of snow, and it will completely shut down cities because they just aren't equipped. They don't have the snow plows and the salt and the snow trucks and all of that to kind of clear it up. Here, we're very accustomed to getting significant snow for my area. We can handle 6 to 10 inches of snow here and still operate. Will said he can't get his car out, won't make it. Wow. Emma says she is making a breakfast type thing with tater tots, eggs, lots of cheese, and smoky links. Kind of a breakfast throw together. Sounds pretty good. Like a little casserole kind of thing. Kat says it's got to be 40 years ago that I saw anything like this. Well, at least it's pretty. It's usually pretty when you get that much snow. And although it can be a pain if you have to go out to work or, that kind of thing, it does make your life slow down because you can't do a lot of the things that you would normally do. Thrifting's out of the question. What you can do is hang out and drink hot cocoa and list. But I hope that things get back to normal for you guys as soon as possible. Because I know about the third day of dealing with snow, and I never owned a snow shovel until I moved to Columbus. But about the third day of it is enough, because you start to get a little stir crazy. It's not that you need to go somewhere, but you want to go somewhere. Or at least for me, I like to be out. Kat says hi to Will. Crazy, isn't it? I haven't driven my car for 3 days and the grandkids are off school. Yeah. And the poor kids get a little stir crazy too, unless they can go out and play in it, which is fun. I know that when we were young, and we would get snows in the 70s, we had like a crippling snow. But even when we would just get 4 inches of snow or something, Mom would always make like snow cream, and it's like I don't know, milk and sugar. She would mix it together and make like a little treat. Emma says, are the bins in Ohio closer to central Ohio? Frequently go to Richmond, Indiana, which is just over the border of Ohio. The only ones that I know about, and it's because I haven't researched any other ones, there's one in Kettering, which is on the eastern side of Dayton, and there's one in Cincinnati, which is obviously pretty far from Richmond. But let me look to see where Richmond, Indiana is. Let's see. Let's wake up the Googs. Gotta love the Googs. Maps. So it looks like the bins would be about an hour from Richmond. Kat says there's lots of delays in collection and delivery of parcels by Royal Mail and courier companies. Emma said, I actually haven't had a snow day in years. I've been homeschooled for the last 4 years, and on my senior year of high school, no snow days when you have to stay inside. Yeah. Will said he's played it being self-employed for 2 weeks and loved it. I love this job. This is the best job ever. So Emma, it would look like about an hour from Richmond to the bins situated in Kettering. So I don't know if that would be too far for you, too far out of the way for you. I want to list this, but it's really gross. Maybe I'll just go ahead and list it. I'll take it upstairs and clean it really well. Let's see, unless I already have a draft for it. Nope. Emma says definitely easier to go to Indy Bins. It takes an hour and a half to get to Indy Bins from my house, and an hour and a half to get to Richmond from Indiana from your house, plus that hour. But thank you for the info. Yeah, that is a pretty big drive. Okay. Need help with some glassware, which I think is for use in the USA, as it has on it no broiler use. What is a broiler exactly? Do you know, Kath, when you turn on an electric oven and you want to brown the top of something, so you would put it right directly under that electric element. Most of the time that's in a separate drawer in the bottom of the oven, that you would put, I don't know, like biscuits, or not biscuits, you know, because I say biscuits and you think cookies, American biscuits, bread, scones, and you want to brown the top of them, you'd pull out that drawer and put the pan down there and slide the drawer down, and it's directly right under the heat. You call it a grill. Okay. Gotcha. That's what we would call a broil. That is what we use to broil food, to bake the top of it, to cook the top of it. So, so that's what it is. It looks like Pyrex is clear. There are 2 pieces, but only one is marked with no broiler use. There's no maker stamp. I would think that it's just because of the extreme heat. Whatever piece that is can't handle that. Jeff Ball said, hey, Jeff says, I think there's a Goodwill Bins on Bryce Road. There is, a little east of Columbus. Yeah, I went there on Monday, and that was the second time I've been there. And of course, I don't go through the clothing bins because I don't use them. I don't sell clothes. So, but I've kind of decided until they restructure their prices, I'm going to avoid it. They're at $1.59 a pound, and that is just more than the other Goodwill, the other outlets that I've gone to. That's more than they price at Cincinnati or Kettering, and usually they tier the prices differently. The one on Bryce Road just does $1.59 for everything except books, which are 49 cents or 59 cents. So I'm hoping they'll restructure those prices. And maybe I'll go there some more. Have you been there, Jeff? Emma says it's also commonly used for storage as well. It certainly is. That little drawer that you would broil food in has roasting pans in it right now for me. I'm just saying that's where they are. So, but my dishwasher is also full of storage because I have a very small kitchen. There's just two of us, and I usually hand wash the dishes. So I use a dishwasher for storage as well. I can only speak from a perspective of hard goods. I just know that they're about, let's see, 30% more than the other bins. And I don't think that what they have is as good, but they're new. And when there's a new store like that, they tend to start pricing kind of high. They've got a lot of overhead that they've got to overcome. And then they'll tear it back down. Now, if you do mostly clothes and you know clothes, that may be a bins for you to go to. They have a lot of clothes there, and you can pick up lightweight stuff pretty inexpensively. Might be a little tough on, for jeans, but you might be able to buy dress shirts, athletic wear, and that kind of thing pretty cheap. So really depends on what you sell. Will says my dishwasher broke once, so I hid the chocolate in it because I knew no one would go there. I used to hide chocolate in a bag marked liver in the fridge because who's going to open that bag, right? Yeah, that is genius, Emma. You're absolutely right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and list this. Jeff said you're in Mansfield, so I don't want to drive a long way to try it. Somebody else, there's a guy in another group that I'm in that was just talking about a thrift store, is a Buckeye Thrift in Mansfield that is now pricing based on eBay prices. Are you able to find good deals in Mansfield, or do you have to venture out a little further to be able to find what you're looking for? Because I have not gone up to Mansfield. I live southwest Columbus in Hilliard. So Mansfield's a good hour for me, at least an hour for me. Kat says it's like a meatloaf tin, only glass, like for making pate. So maybe because of the shape, you can't put it under the grill, but you could with the other, which is like a lasagna dish, right? You're welcome. Yeah, we would just call that a meatloaf pan, even though it's glass. So, or a loaf pan. But yeah, I don't know why that one and not the other one. Interesting. Let's find a model here. EC700. Oh, if only I had my 20-year-old eyes. Got 2 Goodwills and a Volunteers here in town. Prices are fair, good clothing selection, hit and miss on everything else. That's pretty good. If you've got those 3 thrift stores, and then obviously there's Buckeye Thrift there as well. I can see where you could keep your business running, because I tend to go to the same. I mean, I hit the bins once a month or maybe twice a month, but most of the time I'm sourcing from my local Goodwills, and I'm fortunate to have a lot. There are 5, 6, 7. There are 7 thrift stores within a 10-minute drive from me. So I'm really fortunate to have that saturation. And if you guys don't, if you do hard goods, don't overlook these Space Maker, components, whether they be can openers like this, or coffee makers, or the open front can opener where they don't have the door. They can sometimes be a little long tail, but they always sell for good money. I'm going to list this for $40 plus shipping. I may not get that because I generally always have like an 8 to 12% off sale, and I do best offer, but I still should probably get about 30 for it. Emma says, if I ever get started to get into hard goods, which I will eventually, better gain some muscle. People at the bins in the hard goods section are pushy. Being short doesn't help. Being short is definitely a disadvantage. Although Holly's only about 5'2", and she's not afraid to throw down with people. I'm like, I do not have that much gumption. Jeff says, I do know Bug-Eye Thrift. I go there once in a while, but I've bought very, very little. There are other Goodwills close enough to go to. I go to the Marion Goodwill once a week. I have not been up there either. I do know some people that live in Marion, though. And every once in a while, I will make it as far north, not often, and it's usually only in the summertime. I will make it as far north as like the Sunbury Goodwill, but I have not made it on up to Marion. But usually when I'm hitting Sunbury, it's because I'm on the northernmost part of Columbus in like Lewis Center and Westerville and all of that, and I just hit it while I'm up there. And I'm really trying to start culling the trash out of my store. Oh my gosh. You know, I talked about this yesterday, being so driven to get to a number. You know, I've got to get to this number of listings, and then I want to get to this number of listings, and then I want to get to this number of listings. And it's really not about that number, because I can make as much money with 600 quality listings as I can with 1,000 not so good listings, or at least in my head I can. So I really want to cull out some things that I should have never listed, that are killing my my click-through, like my sell-through rate. So I don't know. What are you guys trying to do to improve your business, to improve your sales? I'm always looking for ideas, and I will always share ideas as they come to me. And well, just so you know, I paid $3 for this can opener. I bought it on the half off sale. So probably $3 into 30. And it says, Thankful I have a little brown barn that's mine, and I have plenty of space for storage. I was on Posh before I turned 18 to test the waters of reselling, taking that inventory to eBay now. What I love is that you are so young and so like driven to be an entrepreneur, because some of us have been doing this for a very, very, very long time, and they figured out that's what they wanted to do earlier in their life. But I was in my 40s. I was deep in my 40s before I decided that this is really the lifestyle that I want, and this is the job that I want, and I'm going to pursue this. Before then, I was doing that corporate thing and not loving every minute of it. So that's pretty impressive that you have taken that initiative. All right. All right. Let's see. Kathy. Hi, Kathy. I put my men's shirts for 60% off. Guy offered me $2 for a shirt. I took it just to get rid of it. My husband is taking all the men's shirts to consignment for me. I got an offer last night for $2 on something, and I just said, you know what, I can't do it. But I am taking some ridiculous offers right now to get rid of stuff. And Emma says, I love to be able to be part-time, at least support myself and move in with my boyfriend and take my business to another level. Eventually get into Amazon bulk buys, etc. But thank you. You're so sweet. Hey, man, I was, what was I? I don't even know if I was working at 18. Jeff said, I started this at 48 years young, part-time, full-time now, 3 years in. Isn't this the best job? Once you figure out that you don't have to be a part of the rat race, which, I have been programmed to think you get married, you have kids, you get a job, you keep the job until you die. But that's not who I am as a person. So I've been much, much happier since I left that lifestyle. Including a couple of husbands, but whatever. Everybody's entitled to a mistake. Okay. So this little daddy is a Krups aroma control coffee maker that I'm getting ready to list for $60. I love finds like that. Jeff said, same here. Had a real job for 26 years. I started later. Like I started my corporate life later. So I only actually worked there for a decade, but it was the longest 10 years of my life. And Emma says, I started watching resellers when I was 14, been waiting to be 18. People kept telling me, don't wish your childhood away. After my parents split, I grew up quick and glad I'm finally able to be adulty. Don't be too adulty all the time. Make sure that you have some fun still, because I'm not adulty all the time. Trust me. Trust me. I'm much less adulty than I should be most of the time. But yeah, it does help if you can focus on something. 229. Gina, I have a set of beaters for an electric mixer. What's the easiest way to find out what kind they are? Well, I typically will just Google electric hand mixer beaters, and I will look at the images until I find the ones. But that being said, if you will shoot me a picture over on, like, in Facebook or something, you can just post it in the Facebook group. Josh is very, very good. Josh is very, very good for figuring stuff out. So is Nancy. So am I. So I will we'll take a look at them for you and see if we can help you figure them out. Hey, Debbie, I haven't seen you for a while. You can't join this one live because this is live on YouTube, but the next time I do a live, just a live hangout with a couple of folks, I will shoot you a note and see if you have time to join then. It's exciting that you finally got your camera. I know you've been working to try to get that set up. Let's see. And I may be doing that later today, where I just have a live off YouTube hangout, and I do those quite frequently with a group of ladies. So if any of you would be interested in doing something like that, where we're just hanging out and we're all on camera and talking, just let me know. Okay. Jessica said, I will never be a full adult. I don't think I'll be a fool. Even when I'm like 80, if I live to, I get it. I still feel 26 in my head. I just can't help myself. Emma says, I hear you. We actually have things fixed on the house. So I have to photograph in my room, and, live in trying to list with photography lights in here is so difficult. It always looks messy. I get it. Yeah, Debbie, I know you're not so tech savvy. I will talk you through it. It's absolutely easy to do when we're just having a normal live hangout. Let's see. Okay. Great, the coffee maker is smarter than I am. I do not look 25, but it's very sweet of you to say so. So I'm planning to wind this down in about 20 minutes at 2:30. So I think I'm going to go out and buy a few things. And I have gotten 1, 2, 3, 5 things listed. Not that many. But Debbie, you're looking with your eyes and not your heart. Or you're looking with your heart and not your eyes. But that's fine. That's fine with me too. Yeah, I have completely emptied a tub, which is progress. Good stuff. And I've listed almost $200 worth of stuff. And that's good too. Okay, no problem, Gina. Just post a picture over there, and it may be maybe an hour or so before I can get to it, but I will certainly take a look at it and help you figure it out, because I buy, just loose beaters in a bag, and I just sit and figure them out. So I've gotten really good at it. Okay, there's that. Boom goes the dynamite. I'm gonna list this bad boy today, and then I'll do some repairs on it later. Let's see. And said, do I use social media at all to promote your listings? Instagram, Facebook? I don't. And I've had some discussion with folks about like I know that people do. I know that people that they have created Facebook pages, like a business page, to promote. We talked about this yesterday, and there are people that promote heavily on Instagram, especially clothing sellers, and they sell their stuff there. I just sell such a unique, one of a kind. You know, I don't know that I could sell a coffee pot if I promoted it on, you know, Instagram. So I don't promote my stuff there, and I'm still doing okay. I like to put my energy into just listing and taking better pictures and taking better and writing better listings and running sales and all of that. But if it was, you know, if it was something that would really increase my sales, I probably would do it. Emma said, I started an Instagram to promote, but it feels like it won't do much good. I did include hashtags. It wouldn't hurt. It won't hurt either if you continue to post other things. So we talked about yesterday, Tracy, the Red Palapa, posts Jessica, go join my Facebook group. It's pretty small. It's about 400 people in it. It's Socially Awkward Sellers, and you can always message me there. And if I'm going to do an open hangout, I will post it there and post the link there. So that way you could get notified when I'm doing that. But Tracy with the Red Palapa says she has built her Instagram up, posting twice a day, like something seller related once, and once something personal. So she'll post twice a day, and that's a way to kind of build up a following. And then once you've gotten that following built up, I think that's when you can really start selling some stuff on Instagram. Gina says she paid 59 cents a pound for the beaters, so she threw them in the cart. That's probably a very good price. And beaters, I always sell the beaters before I sell any other part. So Emma, I just got your request. I'll go ahead and get you approved here. I am multitasking all over the place, and I'm not that good at it. Let's see. Get you approved. There you go. And Beverly says getting higher price, better quality, and paying up on things. And that is a pain point for me that you're welcome, that I have tried to overcome. I'm so darn cheap. I don't want to pay for anything, but you have to say, I'm going to pay up a little more for this because it will sell for more than the $3 item I'm going to sell for $20. I'm going to have to pay $10 or $12 for this, but it'll sell for $70. You just got to do it. You got to make yourself do it. And maybe you don't have to make yourself do it. I just have to because I'm cheap. I never pay retail for anything, and I just want a bargain, but I can't get a super bargain every single time. It just doesn't work that way. All right, let's see what we've got here. So So something like this, even though it's a hard good, I am totally going to bubble wrap, put some cardboard around, and throw this in a padded flat rate, and it should be perfect. Let's see, Debbie said, I partied on a food processor, paid $12 and sold all the parts and made $65 total. I learned that from you. Thanks so much for everything you share. Also, Sarah, you make me laugh. Well, I'm glad that I make you laugh as well. I have always been kind of a class, like not the class clown, because I was always really quiet in school, but I was definitely the clown at home. And everybody in my family pretty much has a decent sense of humor. And my sister the other day called me. And she called me, and it was like a half ring and it hung up. And so I texted her back and I said, one, you either meant to call me and you got busy and you hung up, or two, you butt dialed me, you didn't mean to call me at all, or three, you called me, you meant to call me, but you accidentally hung up. I went through this whole list of things that could have happened, and she texted me back, I butt dialed you, and you're the funniest family member I have. Jessica says she can't pay $10 for one item, she would die. I just paid $10.99, I think, for this baby formula maker thing. And I was like, I don't want to pay for that. But it sold quickly, like within a few days, for $70. And it was a good buy, but I did have to push myself to spend that much. So I know the struggle is real, especially when you're used to getting things cheaper. You're in the heart of the Midwest, so prices probably aren't so bad there. And here in Ohio, also in the Midwest, not so bad here. But when you get into some places like Chicago, up in New England, on the West Coast, their prices are much higher. So Val says she's leaving Goodwill. She got a Cuisinart mini plus chopper. I've sold those. And she said that's her first appliance. I'm proud of you. You can be proud of yourself, but I'm so proud of you too. Emma said, I can't either. It kills me to pay $40 for a cartload of clothes at the bins, let alone go to a regular Goodwill and pay $2.49 and $4.99 per item. Emma, I know what you're trying to say, so don't worry about your typing. Hey, Nevermore. He says, don't be afraid to pay up if you know the buyers are going to show up. And that is the best philosophy. It's just hard to cross those hurdles in the beginning. Once you start paying up a little bit for things and they're solid buys, like they're selling fairly quickly and for a really good return, you won't mind so much. But make sure you're educated about your decisions. I see gaming systems all the time for sale, and I'm like, okay, they want $100 for that. But, if my son was still alive, I would be able to say, hey, Zach, what could be wrong with this Xbox or whatever? Because he would know that, well, this particular model was really bad about the ring of death or something. I don't know. But I don't have I do sell gaming systems, but they're the ones I'm really comfortable with, like Wii or Nintendo 64 or something like that. So Holly's blowing me up. But Holly's so excited. She just got a new washer and dryer today, so she's blowing me up about that. But Val says she bought some wallpaper border. You're rubbing off me. I hope that it sells well for you. But yeah, make sure you're educated about the things that you're buying. At least know that they sell regularly and for what price. And the worst case scenario is the thing that you just bought doesn't work. What will you be able to sell it for parts for? Nevermore Antiques. I'm sorry, I don't know your name, so I'm going to call you by your your handle until I do know your name. And I should know your name because I watch your videos. I bought a typewriter yesterday for $50, but should sell for about 230. That's pretty awesome. The guy is a good friend. He said he wanted 30, but I gave him 50. I've done that too before, where I thought they were undercutting the price, and I gave them a little more. He's got a lot of awesome items, and I make sure he's paid well so that he comes back to me in the future. That is so smart. Very, very smart. And it's good karma if you're into that kind of thing. Emma says, sometimes I wonder if my prices are too high, but I'm probably just impatient for things to sell. LOL. I do have best offer on everything. And price isn't the only driver. I find sometimes when I raise prices, things will sell. So, it's fine to play with your prices. Go in and change everything down a penny or up a penny or something like that. But it's not always just that you don't have the lowest price. Jeff says, same here. Because of you, I bought wallpaper border and have sold it for pretty good profit. Some of it can be a little long tail, but some of it flies right off the shelf. And it's always something that is really cheap. Like you can pick up wallpaper border for 50 or the most I paid for it is $1. I think I have paid $1.99 for like a really wide wallpaper border, but most of the time I get it at most for $1, and it sells. So I'm glad that that's helping you guys out, because I think it's something that most sellers don't look at. Less work in listing and more money. Absolutely. It is something that is super easy to list. Let's see. Okay, Val's got a good question. Jeff says that it was Longaberger. That's something that's easy to find here too. 3 rolls for $1.50, sold for $22.95 plus shipping. So Val, what I do when I have sealed rolls, she paid 80 cents each. Do you partially unroll so the buyer can see the pattern? Yes. What you do is you take pictures of the sealed roll so that you can show that it's a full sealed roll. And then you open it and you roll it out to take a picture of the pattern. And then you just put in your listing that it was a sealed roll that you opened so that you could show the pattern. And that's the way that I tend to do my listings. And I say that Longaberger is easy to find here because the Longaberger factory is here, or was here. I think it's still here. So Bev says it takes a lot of time to sell small priced items, and I've noticed that my better items sell faster. I've got so many $9.99 and less items in my store that I'm really pushing out the door. I just don't want to deal with them anymore. So okay, let's get that one. Clean that up. Yeah, let's do the party light. Does that $9.99 include shipping, or is it plus shipping? It is plus shipping because I don't offer free shipping on anything anymore. And I haven't seen that my sales are terribly negatively affected. On some items, to make sure that they stay competitive, for first class only, I don't charge full shipping. So, for example, if I was selling this fuse, this will go at 1 ounce. I may only charge $1.99 shipping on this, knowing that I'll have to eat, 70 cents worth of shipping on this. But I will collect some of the shipping. So it's kind of a win-win. They are underwriting part of my shipping cost, and I am underwriting part of theirs. If that makes sense. and it still remains competitive. Longaberger is still there, but I think another company just bought the basket building. Gotcha. Only in Ohio do we have Big Butter Jesus. Look it up. We have rows of corn statues. Look that up. And we have the basket building for Longaberger that has this gigantic basket out in the front. And we probably have lots of other things like that too. They get kooky here in the Midwest. So what do you have where you are? What kooky thing do you have where you are? Because we got kooky things in Kentucky where I'm from too. We have the gigantic Louisville slugger bat that is, I don't know, 70 feet tall, leans up against a building. We have gigantic whiskey bottles. Oh yeah, in Mansfield they have the prison there. They have the prison where the Shawshank Redemption was filmed in Mansfield, and I've been meaning to go up there for that reason, and I just keep forgetting. Maybe when it's warm, I'll go up there again. Indiana is known for the Vera Bradley factory. Do you have any gigantic purses there, Emma? Yeah. Oh, Jeff, you have a functioning, do you have a functioning prison there in Mansfield as well? Not just the old prison? Prisons aren't something you think about unless you know somebody that's in one or works at one, or you happen to live very close to one. Jessica says that we have corn mazes because she's right near Leavenworth Penitentiary that you guys hear about in movies for the bad guys. And Emma says you can't think of any big purse, giant purse on top of her head. Yeah, Leavenworth, that is the thing that old country songs are made of. And you're right. Bad guys used to go to Leavenworth back in the day. Still today, but in those old movies, they used to. So, yeah, every place is famous for something. And they have those landmarks. The Big Butter Jesus is down near Cincinnati. And it's this huge, they called him Big Butter Jesus because he was a huge statue out in front of a church, like gigantic statue out in front of a church. And it was made of a material that was flammable. It got struck by lightning and it burned up. And then they have since replaced him with a concrete one. But they also have the Ark here. So Cincinnati opened a creation museum, and they've got the Noah's Ark thing here that is supposed to be really good down near Cincinnati. But I have not gone to see that yet. Jessica says we also have a speedway for NASCAR near here, but not too many big things there. Yeah. My family lives, not me. My family lives near the racetrack it's a newer racetrack in Sparta, Kentucky. And every time I drive by there, I'm like, this is Sparta. Every time I will send my kids a text message. I will take a picture of the sign. It's so ridiculous. But yeah, so there's a nice big racetrack there too. We have a thing. We're Americans. We have a thing about building big things, big replicas of things. I'm sure we've got biggest ball of twine and things like that. We like that kind of stuff. right, folks. It's about 2:30. I think I'm gonna end this. Great group today. Lots of interaction. I love it when you guys are sharing and sharing your stories and your sales. It's just awesome. I love that stuff. You guys keep me so entertained. And I appreciate that. There's 17 of you guys here. Thank you so much for spending a couple hours with me listing. I hope you're able to get some things accomplished. We know that Emma got breakfast done, which is good. That's a big accomplishment. And Val was able to buy her first appliance. That's pretty exciting too. So thank you. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks to Nancy for dropping in at the beginning of the show. I appreciate you doing that. And I hope to have another one of these soon. I will try and do one in the evening time for folks that list in the evening, because I think that could be beneficial. Emma says she's photographing at the moment. Wonderful. But anyway, thanks to everybody. I will see you guys soon. Just remember that the dream works when you do. So keep dreaming and keep working, and I'll see you guys the next time. Thanks so much.